Emira Business FM, where business comes to talk.
Next up at Morning Drive, we're looking at a quiet but quite important shift in the UAE property market. Now, prices are climbing in the traditional hotspots. More buyers are now turning to Sharjah for second homes. They're drawn by a number of things: better value, long-term stability, growing lifestyle developments. There's a lot going on. So what is it about Sharjah? What's driving the trend? What does it mean for investors and end users? Rohit Bachani is the co-founder of Merlin Real Estate, and he's going to join us to look at just why Sharjah is increasingly on the radar of home buyers. And I think, Rohit, judging by what I can see there, joining us on Zoom, you're in the car. Are you in Sharjah at the moment?
Uh, um, Hi, Tim. What a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me again. I am currently in Emirates Hills, so slightly more pricier than Sharjah. But yes, maybe in a few hours I'll be in Sharjah. Thank you for having me.
Look, you're very welcome. It's good to have you back. So, look, Sharjah's seeing growing interest as a second home destination. What's driving the shift at the moment, Rohit?
Well, Sharjah got 65.6 billion dirhams last year in transactions, and the shift is, I would put that people used to think that Sharjah is a place where we go and we can't afford to buy anymore. I think it's the shift has happened that Sharjah is a starting destination now.
So that's
So
okay. So this is where we start. Can I just go back a second, actually, because I wanted to kind of talk Sharjah for a moment, because so much of the conversation is about, here in the UAE, about Dubai and Abu Dhabi. They tend to get the most attention. Sharjah's always obviously been there. It's a place that offers so much culturally, so much industrially. It always has, I think. Take SEF, the Entrepreneurship Festival this weekend. Or the news last week aimed at bolstering economic growth from Sharjah Executive Council. There's a new Legislative and Legal Affairs Committee in Sharjah that's aiming to create a more attractive business environment. The point I think I'm trying to make is that, lots is going on. There's continually activity in Sharjah. Which maybe isn't covered as heavily as Dubai and Abu Dhabi. And I suppose it's always been a more affordable place to live, of course, and increasingly a kind of a preferred place for many too.
Tim, you've hit the nail on the head. A lot of people know that I'm born into the UAE, but my first 10 years was in Sharjah, and my friends and relatives who used to live in Dubai would come down on Thursday night because that was a weekend, and they would come to Sharjah to the Buhaira Cornish, see the beautiful hills, green hills, parks, lakes, which was unheard of in Dubai. It has always been a cultural hotspot. Yes, I've been attending the Sharjah Book Fair also, where we see historic books. Sharjah is a pearl in the Seven Emirates. A beautiful place. It's got waterfront properties as well. It has a large coastline. Huge master communities are coming up. So yes, Sharjah is finally finding its place in the sun. I think I've mentioned this word before as well, and it's also giving a lot of returns to investors.
Your firm, Rohit's an advocate for employing tech-driven property solutions. You take a quite innovative approach, I think. What's the data you've collected telling you? Is this demand in Sharjah mainly about affordability, or is it buyers focused on long-term value, focused on stability?
I would thank you for bringing it up, Tim. When we use Hexareal, which is our proprietary AI software to generate future proofing of which communities are going to do well, what's interesting in what keeps on popping up in Sharjah, there's a strong parallel and between Abu Dhabi and Sharjah. In simple words, what I mean is that it's a long-term view. You enter uh, not trying to flip it, which happens quite typically in Dubai. People do exit quite quickly. They mortgage it, get some equity out, buy something else, and they try to build their portfolio. Sharjah and Abu Dhabi is a game where you come in, you buy a townhouse, apartment, whatever your budgets are, but you hold out for the long run, and that rewards you the most. So that's where what the tech is saying, that's what the data is saying, and that's what the emotions are saying. So it's a combination of all three. Whenever we look at a Sharjah investor, I think he already knows that they are quite well informed, and they are not looking at it for the short term.
Let's give the discussion a little bit more context. And Rohit, feel free to jump in if you have additional figures for last year. It's worth remembering, I think, that in the first half of 2025, real estate transactions surged 48%. They hit 27 billion dirhams. That's just over $7 billion.
And again, the same numbers are,
Go on.
and we closed to get 65 billion dirhams. That is a big number. Well,
Mm.
of course, when we look at Dubai, 800, 900 billion dirhams, but six. 65 billion dirhams for Sharjah in freehold. That is a phenomenal number. And what's driving it are these master communities. What's driving it are second home demands. A lot of GCC and Arab expats are coming in, and I think they're fueling the demand. Arab expats and GCC citizens really like Sharjah. They lap it up, and they do not find sometimes Dubai a real family lifestyle, and that's what I think also a big demand, which brings the Arab expats and the GCC citizens in Sharjah as well.
That's interesting. How does Sharjah compare with Dubai in terms of returns, in terms of lifestyle, in terms of entry price?
Well, let's take a hypothetical real world example of a townhouse. 5 years ago in Dubai, a good budget for a townhouse, 3 bedroom, would be 2 million, 2.5 million for a 4 bed. You'll be hard pressed to get something like this anywhere in Dubai, maybe even in the outskirts of the 611, uh, and with lesser known developers as well. So let's take that as a entry point, a townhouse for 2 million or 2.5 for a 4 bed. In 2026, I cannot get you a townhouse less than 3.5, 4 million in Dubai. And when we have those type of budgets, people's memories are still there who ask me, look, I want something for 2 million a townhouse. So what do I give them? And that's when Sharjah, puts his hand up as a city and said, look, we have that inventory, we have those stocks, and we have some actually a lot better quality. It's still in the 611 corridor. It's a national highway. I like I told you, what I mentioned. I don't know when Dubai ends and Sharjah starts nowadays, especially with the new highways.
Mm.
So when you enter in the Tilal area or the Masar area, it's beautiful. You get villas for 4 million, and that creates value. People see that's value. That's 30-40% cheaper than Dubai. Uh, High quality finishings, high quality uh, products, giving very good rental returns. So that's how Sharjah's, it's not giving lower quality products. It's actually able to give better quality finishings, better quality communities than sometimes than what Dubai is offering. So the near future, this will appreciate, and then you might be going to Ajman or Omal Quain to get something similar to what Sharjah is offering today.
I know that the market has broadened considerably. The offering is much wider, Rohit, but what types of properties are attracting the most attention? Is it the waterfront developments, apartments, the master plan communities?
There's a huge shortage of waterfront properties all across UAE, right from Iraq to Abu Dhabi,
Mm.
and Sharjah is no stranger to that as well. Prices are going up. Limited supply, limited developers coming to waterfront. We just have a few. I would put Tilal in the front, but the huge volumes and numbers are coming in master communities, and Arada or the Masar is where big numbers are coming in. If I could get the data, which I'm of Arada. I would say a big chunk of the 65 billion dirhams last year came from Arada and the master plan community. So, green spots, townhouses, large villas. That's what's taking the lion's share, and I think that's what investors are really looking for. Waterfront, yes, It's just a so limited inventory. There's not much to talk about.
No, that's fair. Can we jump back into the technology, the data perspective
Yep.
again? You know, where much of your agency work is, where it sits. How is buyer behaviour changing in the real estate market in Sharjah today? What would your view be on that?
Well, across UAE and Sharjah is no stranger to it. A buyer from the basic property portals, I would not say AI is so. They have some AI components in most of the portals nowadays, but a buyer typically understands exactly what he's looking for. He is he's seeing large transactions was not quite evident before. It was very difficult to see transactions happening uh, in the last 1 week or the last 1 month, which has changed right now. It was very typically exposed to only brokers, and once you put 12 months data of previous transactions, see the growth. The buyer knows exactly what he's looking for. And that's where I was coming from back from my last answers that they are coming back to townhouses and villa developments, mainly in communities like Arada and Masar, as they've seen the largest growth over there. So they are using tech as well as an end user, people who are buying just one or two units. This is something sovereign funds, family offices were using maybe a year ago, and right now that is access to everyone who has a phone, a laptop, and who has maybe a limited subscription to AI-based property portal, which could be Hexareal, could be of course Bayud Property Finder, and uh, Tim. I would say sometimes the buyers have more knowledge than uh, experienced brokers as well, thanks to what they have in their hands and the technology they have.
Yeah, there's a great deal of truth in that. We kind of started this interview. The top line of this interview was really Sharjah as a very attractive second home market. We've talked a lot about Sharjah, you know, home demand, but in terms of second home demand, do you see that continuing growing over the next few years?
Definitely, from a individual brokerage point of view, and my brokers who work with me, and I go to Sharjah quite a lot. A lot of GCC nationals who would steer clear away from freehold because they always had access to different uh, different type of units. Now, most of the GCC uh, nationals, typically from Saudi and Kuwait, they do want to buy a bigger home. They do want to buy uh, uh, master freehold communities. And you can move a bit, please. I'm sorry. Sorry. It's all right. Or you can stay out. I'm so sorry. Huh? Oh, jeez. I'm so sorry for that. I'm just having a drive across over here. So the crux is GCC, Saudi nationals, Kuwaiti nationals, Bahraini nationals, they are putting a lot of uh, capital influx in Sharjah,
Mm.
and they are not just coming in as a single user or buying a couple of units. Uh, I'm not privy to, of course, give the sovereign funds or family offices name, but we've seen Saudi family offices come in and buy clusters of townhouses and villas. So that's GCC funds. Arab expats are coming in. I'm born in Dubai, so and UAE, and when I was in Sharjah, a lot of the friends and family around me, they would always want to stay there. They wouldn't want to come to Dubai. These are typically Arab expats. And I've been selling to my friends who I was growing up and playing football with back in the 80s and 90s. And they said, look, we're not coming to Dubai. I mean, if Dubai is even lower priced,
Mm.
which is a very interesting thing to hear. That even if Dubai is cheaper, I'm not coming to Dubai. This is where I was born. This is where I want to stay. And at the start of the interview, the top of the interview, you said that Sharjah is quite strong industrially. And a lot of my friends and family, they're industrialists now. They own factories in Sharjah Free Zone. They own factories in Ajman. And they all typically are looking to live, work, and play in Sharjah.
I mean, it's a natural fit, I think, for lots of people. I can understand why, if you were a Saudi investor or a Kuwaiti investor, that you would look at Sharjah in particular. And I think, whatever works for you is the way forward. Rohit, a final question for you. For someone considering maybe a second home in Sharjah, or maybe a first home as well, to be fair, the advice applies equally. What's the one key thing you need to get right?
Well, thanks, Tim. That's a very interesting question. I would say the rule applies for all seven Emirates, more so in Sharjah, is to stick to a good developer because it's still in a nascent stage. A lot of big catalogs, brochures, colorful hoardings are coming out all across UAE. Stick to the basics, stick to government backed developers. You can't go wrong with them. We've seen capital appreciation, we've seen data that they have delivered, they have shown returns to the investors. Having said that, I don't want to take anything away from the smaller developers. Uh, but if there's one thing you can take away is like if it's your first or second home in Sharjah, stick to the big boys. We all know who they are. I don't work for them, but I don't mind. Always using the word Arada. They're huge. Stick to these big boys, and you won't go wrong.
And I've just thought of a final question I should ask you. As somebody who spent, the first decade of their life in Sharjah, you were born in the UAE. I don't know if you own in Sharjah, or I don't know where you own, Rohit, but is it like going home for you when you head north here in the Emirates?
Well, the first decade, I've already, by God's grace, lived 4 decades in UAE. 3 decades in Dubai. I do get some nostalgia in Sharjah when I go there. I do own in Arada. I'll be nothing to hide. I have a townhouse over there. It's giving me very good returns.
Right.
It's a beautiful place. I take my families there for. They have beautiful parks. Uh, if you ask me, because a lot of 80% of my family, we are a large family. My mom has 5 brothers and 5 sisters, and my dad has 3 sisters. 80 to 90% of them live in Dubai now. So I have like 35 cousins. All my friends, my high school, my college went Dubai. So yeah, I would stay in Dubai right now, not because of my family. At the same time, Sharjah is giving me sometimes more returns than my Dubai units, and the same for my own investors as well. Uh, it's a good price, good time to enter Sharjah. It's still a good pricing.
Well, it's overall a very positive story, there's no doubt about that. Rohit
Thank you.
Bachani is the co-founder of
Thank
Merlin Real Estate. We've got you in the car for the second time. We're going to get you in the
I'm done.
studio for the third time. Third time lucky. Rohit, appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, Tim, and thanks for your patience. Appreciate it.
Good to
Such an
talk
honor.
to you. It's Mirror Business FM. This is the Morning Drive. Just a reminder, get in touch with the show. Tell us what you think on social media. If you can add a like and a subscribe, that's always appreciated. Whatever we do, you can listen and or watch again on the website, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. All you need to do is look for Mirror Business FM.